the direction that you've seen, just the change in philosophy, what have you noticed in change of philosophy from Gino, from Jim?
I think Gino's obviously been around our program a long time, and so I think he had a chance to look at things that he would do different. Is building on the great foundation that we have in place. Obviously, I think you saw the same thing when Coach Morris took over from Coach Frazier. You don't tear everything down and start over. You're building on a great program, and I think Gino's really taken that opportunity to just put us in the best position to get back to Omaha.
And in regards to football, we're coming off National Signing Day. While the recruiting rankings, if you will, say the Canes finished like 34, somewhere around there, Manny seemed pretty pleased with his coaching staff. Do you feel like that's a higher priority for a program, to have a better coaching staff in place than per se to have?
Well, I think a couple things. One, obviously, recruiting rankings are a few people's opinions, and you don't know how things are all going to play out at the end. I think the other thing, when you look at where we're at in today's college athletics, as I understand it, I don't believe the transfers are accounted for in the class, and obviously we made some great additions, or I believe will be great additions given their past rankings and their past performances with a number of the individuals. And so I think when you combine those things together, I think we probably have a much more impactful class than maybe the recruiting rankings are giving us credit for. But to your question about the coaching staff's there for the long haul, and for Manny to be able to bring this coaching staff together, I think just really puts us in a great position, not only for future recruiting classes, but more importantly for future success on the field.
You bring up the transfers, Tate Martell being one of them. A lot of situations right now pending with the NCAA, and then we saw what happened with Juwan Hernandez. Is there a bias? Do you believe there is a bias towards the University of Miami in the way that the NCAA has handled certain situations and the rulings?
No, I don't think there's a bias in any way. I think the NCAA looks at the rules that are in place and they apply them as they see. And again, as I publicly stated in my statement, that I didn't feel that the Juwan Hernandez case was fairly evaluated in terms of what their decision was, but respect the decision that was made, and I believe they'll be fair in evaluating Tate's case and respect the process.
Like you always hear about culture, whenever a new coach comes in, and you got a new one here in baseball, you got a new one in football. Do you think maybe the success of this program in the past made some of these guys kids entitled coming in thinking, "Oh, we're at the U," you know what I mean?
I don't think so. Again, I think anyone who comes here recognizes the great opportunity that they have to put the U on their uniform, whatever uniform that is, and go out and represent a passionate fan base, one that cares so much about going out and being the very best. And so I don't think anyone took anything for granted or didn't come in 100% committed to being the very best. Obviously, we haven't had the success in some of our sports programs I think that we'd like to have, and obviously the fans would like to have. With that said, in baseball and football, you have two new coaches that I think are doing a great job in getting things going, and I'm excited to have baseball start here on Friday night, and obviously I'll be excited when football season starts up this fall.
Coach Katie Meyer, the women's basketball team, they've been playing well this season, and then yesterday, some pretty remarkable news with that endowment. What does that mean for their program and just the athletic department in general?
Again, it's we strive for excellence in academics, athletics, and life, and you look at what Katie's done with our women's basketball program over her career, and really it's something where we can all be very proud of them. Again, the early, seedings came out last night, and what had them as a number 4 seed, had the NCAA tournament started this weekend, and again, that's credit to the young women in our program and to Coach Meyer and what she's doing there. But just when you look at that program holistically, I just think there's so many great things about it that we can celebrate, and anyone who's a fan of the university can celebrate. And again, that credit goes to Katie in terms of what she's brought into the program and what she expects from the women in our program, and then obviously the kids in our program going out and executing and living by that and doing all the things that we ask them to do when they make that commitment to come here and be a part of our program.
You touched on the transfers. Obviously, some of the guys that had, whether it's off-field issues in their past or run-ins with coaches, are you basically giving Manny and his staff kind of carte blanche to vet these guys, or are you involved at all in the process with some of these guys who maybe had?
We're involved. We're involved in the process. Campus is involved in the process. It's not one person making a decision, and we have a process here that we work with the admissions office, and if the admissions office determines that someone's a fit for for our program. Obviously, we have very high expectations of anyone who comes into our program and wants to put the U on. And I'm confident all the guys or women that are coming here understand our expectations of them and recognize that if you don't want to live by those expectations, this probably isn't the right spot for you. But I believe whether they're transfers or kids who just signed NLIs or signed them last fall, I'm confident that they understand what the expectations are of our program and what it's going to require for them to be a part of our program.
Some of these like transfer waivers are starting to get approved. It seems like more and more. Do you guys know where you kind of are in the process with Tate, and are you pretty optimistic?
Again, that's an NCAA decision, so I know we're in the process of filing the waiver and getting the results back, and whatever they decide, obviously we'll address that situation when we have the decision from them. Until then, really it's speculation. So I guess I'm only optimistic in that I know we're going to get a decision soon, and then we'll deal with whatever decision the NCAA gives us, and we'll move forward as a program.
In retrospect, the 72 hours or 48 hours football program that transpired on that Sunday into Monday, when you go back and look at it, for what the chaos that had been created that morning, for you, could it have gone any better when you reflect on it within bringing in Manny?
I guess given the situation, no, I don't think it could have gone any better. For us to be able to end Sunday night from where we started Sunday morning, you couldn't have drawn up a better game plan into how that all played out. And again, just was thrilled to be able to get a hold of Manny, talk with him. So appreciative of the support that we received from the president's office, campus, our board of trustees, and just really making everything happen the way we did. And then obviously the great job Manny's done in just grabbing that baton and taking it and building on the foundation that we had built with Mark. Because again, as I've said many times, our football program was in a better spot when Mark left than it was when he got here. And again, credit to Manny, what he's done is built on that foundation. And again, he's made some changes. I think some things have been very visible, and some things I think are a little more behind the scenes. But one of the things that has me real excited is from day one, when I talked with Manny about what was going to be different and how are we going to change the results we're having on the field, the things he touched on are the things that just in a month and a half, and again, recognize we haven't played any games yet, but in a month and a half, you're already seeing those things being put in place, and that's what has me excited about what that means for our future and what it means for game days.
Such
Are
as,
you up?
I'm sorry, such as some of those things that maybe you and him had the conversation about that you've already seen being put into place.
Well, again, when I think you look at the staff that he assembled, again, whether that's bringing in Blake Baker on the defensive side of the ball to the staff that he brought in the offensive side of the ball, carries over into the weight room, and what he's done there, and just the positive feedback I'm getting from all our student athletes in that area, and so all the different things he's done and touches that he's put on the program seem to be building on where we were as a program. That has me excited about what that can mean for end results.
Are you up to date on the hashtags and the memes and the GIFs?
Where
are you at on that?
Probably not, but give me a shot and I'll give you my best guess as to what it means. So what's the latest one out there?
I don't know. Are you worried about sometimes when you see them? Do you worry? I mean,
no. I think I would say this is Manny has a great understanding of communications and the role it plays, and I think he's very in touch with how young people communicate today, and has just done a remarkable job in creating a lot of excitement around so many things that maybe historically wouldn't have been that exciting. And again, credit to Manny, he's done a good job of I think really making use of social media and keeping us a very popular topic, not only here in South Florida, but I guess I'm going to say worldwide anymore with the way the reaches of the internet.
Which ones are you up on? Which ones do you use? You got to have some. Come on.
Well, I like the TNM. I also am a big fan of the swirling hurricane. I did think the Four Fingers was very creative at the time that one came out. So again, I think Manny's done really a remarkable job in really keeping people on their toes, especially all of you in the media, because I know it drives the median crazy to know something's happening, but they don't know what it is.
Well, we got some young guys that kind of decipher some stuff. You stay away from the chocolate ice cream one, though. That's the one.
I'm not familiar with that one, so I'm gonna stay away from that because I haven't seen that one and no idea what that one refers to.
Has the social media budget gone up though for the football program?
I would say the communications budget has gone up overall, and again, we've seen that with all of our programs.
Yeah.
You know, again, Manny, I think, has done probably a much more visible job. But when you look at, you know, what Carter Toole and our entire communications team has done, and our digital people on that front, and obviously football is a big part of that. And you know, Leo Ramos and his role there with football. So to answer your question, yeah, the budget's gone up. I won't say it's gone up since Manny took over. I think maybe it's just it's more visible now than what it was before.
Sure.
Like when Gino was announced as the head coach there, you talked about a possible indoor hitting facility. Is there an update on that, and just kind of what's the status, what's the process?
Yeah, we can continue to work on that. We've gotten some great support on that front. Fortunately, I think we're in a good spot financially. Right now, we're trying to work with campus, with the city of Coral Gables, and with the architects on really finalizing what that facility will look like and what that cost will be, and making sure we have, I guess, all the I's dotted and T's crossed before we go into the ground with that project.
Optimistic it would be completed by when?
It's hard to put timelines out there. I guess I'll say I'm optimistic that we're going to have it completed as quickly as we possibly can, doing it the right way.
Yeah.